All rise. Support court with Judge Vanderby is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1047, Alma case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Ms. Alma, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we are currently divorced and he's paying me child support. And lately he's been doing a lot of extra, he's a bartender, and he's been doing a lot of extra parties for professional sports figures and making a lot more money than what he previously admitted to when we first got our divorce. He's making like around an extra $5,000 a month in tips from his bartending gigs. And I just feel like with 3 kids, we need to increase the child support, and he's not agreeing with me on that.
Well, if what you're saying is true, I would agree with you too. We need to increase that child support amount. And you said how many children?
3.
3 children. Okay. You said about $5,000 a month. And I have documents up here from your most recent court order. $500 a month?
Yes.
For 3 children?
For 3 children.
Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just think that he's denying the fact that he's making this additional money every month, and I think it's obvious everything he puts onto the media, buying drinks for people and buying shots, and he's at these high-profile parties, and I just think that he needs to do what's right for our kids, and it's hard to take care of that many kids on $500 a month.
Right, right. Yeah, I would definitely agree. What about health insurance for these children?
They're on Medicaid.
Okay, all right. Sir?
All right, guys, we're diving into the heat of the action right away. The mom, Alma, walks into the courtroom with some serious evidence. Her ex-husband, the father, is pocketing an extra $5,000 a month from bartending at high-profile celebrity parties. But here's the kicker. He's still only paying $500 a month for 3 kids. Alma's frustration is palpable, and the judge quickly sides with her. There's no question here. An increase in child support is overdue. With 3 children involved, it's time for Dad to step up. This part sets the stage for a showdown, with the judge ready to make a fair call based on the father's hidden income. You can already feel the tension building.
Is there a reason, you're not supporting your children more? And first off, is what she's saying true? What does that mean?
Sort of, yes, I do bartend for some celebrities sometimes.
So the answer is yes, that what she said is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And but I mean, they have done good so far. I thought $500 would be good. I mean, they have been doing great. I mean,
you think $500 is enough to raise children, and you're making an additional $5,000 a month?
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I bring them. I bring them clothes, from time to time. That helps them,
That's called parenting.
Backpacks.
Parenting.
Laptops.
Parenting.
Yes, Your Honor. And I mean, honestly, being a bartender, my income is not fixed, so I'm always saving for a rainy day. That's why I don't want to part with a lot of my money, my savings. I want to keep some of that money for the future and
your children's future.
Well, yes, yeah, that too.
Right. So that means you shouldn't have a problem paying the additional amount based on your income.
Well, what if I lose my job? Your Honor.
What if I lose mine?
For me. Well, true, but I mean.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids.
Well,
Works
we got
both ways.
3 kids. I mean, we got them.
Well, it
together,
feels like
right?
I have 3 kids.
Well,
Since you're not really doing
them
a part.
from time to time. I was there last month. I took them for the entire weekend, and
Oh, you took them for one weekend. You took your children for one long weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
Parenting.
Yes.
Now we hear from the father. When asked if what Alma said is true, he reluctantly admits to making the extra money. But his excuse for paying only $500, he thinks it's enough. The judge isn't buying it, though, and calls out his minimal parenting efforts. Sure, he occasionally takes them for a weekend, but that's not enough to call himself a good parent. The judge hits the nail on the head here. Basic parenting doesn't deserve praise. It's the bare minimum. She challenges him to think about how his low child support and excuses are affecting the kids and their future. The father's flimsy arguments begin to fall apart under the judge's sharp scrutiny.
Right.
My
You're
job,
not going to get a medal for that. That's what you should do as a parent. You should take your children for long weekends. You should buy them backpacks. You should buy them laptops. You should buy their clothes. That's what a parent does. And that's not even a good parent. That's basic parenting. Good parenting goes above and beyond those things that I just said. You haven't said anything about going above and beyond. And based on what she's saying, these children are with her most of the time. Do you think about how her expenses increase with your children always being with her? $500? That's probably enough to cover groceries, if that.
well, that might be true, but you have to consider this. I work almost every day, and
I do too.
I don't get a break, and you know, parenting the kids, that takes a lot of effort, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm up for it. You know, I'm tired, and so I have already taken a lot of time off. You know, for those parties, for the celebrity parties, I have to work extra hours, and so
You haven't said anything that moved me. You just gave a bunch of excuses, quite frankly.
The father's excuses continue, but the judge isn't having it. She calls out his reasoning about saving for a rainy day, saying that he's more concerned with keeping his own money than helping to provide for his children. The reality of the situation is becoming clearer. Alma is left to carry the financial burden for the kids. The judge's tone sharpens as she makes it clear that while the father may not get a break from his work, neither does Alma. She's the one dealing with the kids day in and day out. This part is all about the judge holding the father accountable for failing to meet his financial responsibilities. The weak excuses simply don't hold up anymore.
You didn't deny anything that she just said, so you are in agreement that you're making about $5,000 a month for these private parties, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. And it is true that these children are on Medicaid, correct?
Yes,
And you only have 3 children?
yes.
All right, so we're going to modify your child support today, Mr. Alma.
Finally, the judge draws the line in the sand. Based on his income of $5,000 a month, it's time to raise the child support. There's no more room for negotiation, no more dodging responsibility. The father's own testimony about his income seals the deal. The judge is clear. It's time for him to pull from his savings, not just for himself, but for his children's future. The father has to face the reality that the money he's been stashing away isn't just for his rainy day, but for the well-being of his kids. The shift in the case is undeniable. This is the moment where the dad's reality comes crashing down.
It's the right thing to do. You're gonna have to pull from that savings that you're saving for yourself and start saving for these children's future, as well as taking care of them monthly. You got it? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to base your child support off of that $5,000 a month, which will put your salary around $60,000. Like I said, gross is $5,000. That brings your net down to $4,101.87. Do you have any other children outside of these 3?
No, ma'am. That's the only children that I have.
Okay, all right. And then I'm going to do 9% of your gross for the reimbursement to Medicaid, which comes out to about $450. Do you have access to private health insurance? Can someone at one of these private parties get you some health insurance for these children?
I can try.
Well, I would suggest that you do, because I think that you can find health insurance a lot cheaper than $450, okay? So $450 plus your monthly child support obligation comes out to $1,680 a month.
The judge breaks it down further, $1,680 a month. That's the new amount, factoring in both child support and health insurance. The father knows he has no choice but to accept it, though you can tell he's reluctant. But this isn't about him anymore. It's about the kids. The judge emphasizes that this decision is fair, necessary, and right. She reminds him that parenting is more than just providing backpacks. It's about ensuring the kids are well taken care of. This is the final blow to the father's excuses. There's no room for anyone to ignore their responsibility when it comes to supporting their children.
No, I understand.
Okay, it's the right thing to do. So I would hope you do understand. You have 3 kids. You have to take care of them beyond backpacks and everything that we've already discussed. Mom needs some assistance too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
As the case winds down, the judge delivers a final lesson to the audience. She explains the reasoning behind her decision, noting that in Texas, child support is based on net income, and that the father's extra earnings from private parties were key to recalculating the support. She emphasizes the point that evidence isn't just documents, it's also about the testimony that comes from the people involved. The judge makes it crystal clear that parents can't hide behind flimsy excuses anymore, especially when it comes to supporting their children. The father's obligations are now set, and there's no turning back.